Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 14 carries, 83 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Jones now off the play fake. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. James Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Isaiah on the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Off play action. Wade. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A big play there for Indy. 42 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they... Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Von Miller. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
The give to Taylor. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Wade. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. In our meetings this week, they kind of tipped us off. They wanted to play ultra-aggressive, forcing fumbles. They just did that right there.
They took it to the next level, didn't they? You're exactly right, because everyone talks about being aggressive on defense and tackling well. But they were talking about getting after the football, making sure.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Raekwon McMillan leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
53 Mike. Check.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Raekwon McMillan able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. Off play action. Wade. That is caught inside the 5. That's good for 28 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly, and now first and goal.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Colts have taken the lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let's go one more.
On second down, it's Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We're killing ourselves.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
To throw on second down, Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
Mike, 53. 50.
This will be a jet sweep to Crowder. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
On the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense.
At the 43-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Connection made with Chenault. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. They'll run it now with Robinson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
2nd and 8.
On second down now, it's Taylor. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
Taylor, and some room to maneuver. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Yeah, that's what I do. Check 3, check 3.
They'll run with Taylor. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him.
To kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You gonna get this boy?
To throw again. Jones. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
A loss of 11 yards.
That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Colts to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum. Off the play fake. Wade. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. On 2nd and 7, Jones caught left side. It's Beckham. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Check 53, Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, huh?
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Able to complete this to Chenault. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Now Jones back to the air on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They run with Taylor. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A huge play that time for the Colts. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off play action. Wade. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Rigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Henry's got it out on the left side. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Here's Jack Fox now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. On the return, it's Rodgers. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Wade. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Off play action, Wade. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
On second down, it's Robinson fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. And some room to roam now. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Rodgers on the return.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards the pickup there.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Wade. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jerry Jeudy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They just yielded a touchdown on the other end. Now they'll be trying to answer the bell and get a score of their own.
It's their opportunity to match. Can they do exactly what they just saw happen to them? Go down the field and score a touchdown. And to me, the best way to do it, look at your play sheet coordinator and call plays for guys that make the best plays for you. Go to the guys that you know can get the ball down to the end zone.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
53, Mike, watch the slant.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
53 to Mike, 53, check 53.
Throwing again. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down.
10 yards to go.
It's our time. It's our time.
From the gun, Jones. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I'm just wondering, how many yards is he going to throw for? We're only in the 3rd quarter. He's just thrown for a ton.
You have your abacus here?
Well, what?
Your abacus?
I thought you said like Atticus Finch.
No. We're not getting that deep, but counting this up, we might need a few extra people in here because...
Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jonathan Taylor, 82 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Fielded in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Jones now to throw on 3rd down. This complete to Henry over the middle. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
But it brings up 4th down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And here's Rodgers on the return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the yard. Still in the 3rd quarter, he's had a heck of a game.
Keep your calculator handy because these numbers are skyrocketing. Loving watching what he's doing right now because, what do we call it, in the zone?
Yeah, he's in the zone.
I think he's in the zone plus right now. Everything is like a laser.
See if he can stay in that zone. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. That one goes for 24 yards. Off play action. Wade. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Wade's pass intercepted by the Jaguars.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
3rd quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10.
Tight right, tight right. Even, 4th down, even.
To throw again. Jones. Crowder's got it over the middle. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Let's take it to the 25. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
The Colts take over 1st.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Taylor. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that's caught by Beasley. And this will get them all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At the 6-yard line.
Get that quarterback.
They'll run here with Taylor. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal. It's some good running there. Gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try and run Taylor, and he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. It's Taylor, and he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand.
70 Lions. Double tight.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
58 to Mike.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones looking left side, and it's complete. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jamison Crowder taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Jaguars able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for Indy. 47 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 16-yard touchdown. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 33-yard line.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Ready? Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The Jaguars on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return.
Take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Panther 60. Panther 60. You can't block me.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal. At the 6.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts just continue to pour it on.
I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. 53's the Mike. 53.
Throwing Jones. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
We don't want none. Mike, 53.
Throwing again. Jones.
You.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
The Jaguar first down.
53, Mike, 53.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
53 to Mike, 53.
From the gun, Jones. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's second and 20.
53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike. Rabbit.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Colts pick it up. The big fella. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
The Jaguars getting set to go.
Let's go.
Jones on first down. And this is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Oh, yeah.
Now Jones throwing again on second and 10. Laviska Shenault, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
Incomplete.
Strong right.
Operating from the gun. Jones. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Here we go. Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
From the gun, Jones throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henry. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
53, Mike, 53. Check. Got it.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Oh, you got it.
Throwing again on second down. Jones right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First down, Jaguars.
Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll find Williams on the slant.
Jones pass.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 7. Jones hit and the ball's out. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
The quarterback sacked.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Room here to run. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The defense of Indianapolis, they make their way onto the field now. They are holding serve here at home. The fans were into this one. They did what they needed to do.
And right now I'm just cupping my hand to my ear and listening to the approval that they're getting from the home crowd right now.
That's actually true, by the way. He was physically cupping his hand to his ear.
A job well done. Exactly what you want to accomplish, though. Let's face it, we talk to every coach in the league. We want to take care of our home games, establish home field superiority, win at home, and they're going to get that done.
This is Shenault on the receiving end. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in the end zone.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Cowboy 80. It's championships, baby.
Off the play fake. Wade. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's go, team. It's gonna be
Off play action. Wade. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts set to take over here offensively. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Wayne. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Boy, 30 more yards and another 1st down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they